first drop from Palace Winter 2020 is this Friday, October 2nd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can calculate what time that will be for you. The full range, or the full collection that will be dropping, minus the collaborations obviously, was released today for our viewing, so we will be looking at that. If you guys catch me looking down here, I'm looking at what you guys will see on the left hand side of the screen. And with that being said, let's get into it, because these full range videos are long since we look at every single piece. So to start things off, we have this Optical 2-in-1 Gore-Tex Parka, and here is the original outer shell, I guess, and then on the inside, since it is a 2-in-1, you can peel this layer back, and then on the inside you have this puffer fishtail parka. I guess they're both fishtail parkas, which I usually prefer the fit or the kind of aesthetic of a fishtail more than that of just a normal kind of like boxy parka. But yeah, you can see the look at the inner layer or the under layer, the puffer layer, which I don't know, if you guys follow the channel, I always say it, I'm not a huge fan of puffers, so this doesn't really hit for me. It is Gore-Tex though, it'll be very nice, you know. The fact that it has a puffer and then an outer shell, it'll be super warm. So, you know, it's a high quality jacket, just definitely not for me. Also on the back of the lower, the under layer, the puffer layer, we have some very subtle branding. You have Palace on the bottom, and then it's very hard to see, but there is actually a triferg going along the back as well, which, you know, common Palace branding, put the triferg big on the back. We also have this GTX Aha bomber, which I believe it's suede. Yeah, suede bomber. We have this brown colorway, which this brown suede looks beautiful. On the back you have that Palace GTX graphic, appears to be like a patch or embroidery. They have done this graphic before on caps and then flannels, I believe. Moving forward, we have the Gore-Tex Infinum puffer, which, you know, it's a puffer again. Not crazy about this. They've done Infinum stuff before. Doesn't look like there's any branding on the back. You just have that small triferg, kind of a funny teaser image there. You have the hood being released, almost like a helmet coming off a suit or something. But yeah, I'm not crazy about these. Comes in a couple different colorways. You have those 3M detailings that are shown off in those darker still images. Next up, we have the Cyclone Jacket, which I really don't like the material that they use on this. We have this black colorway. Once again, subtle triferg on the back. It's black as well. Some 3M detailing, which it seems like Palace always does the 3M detailing on their jackets. We have this orange colorway, and then I thought there was a gold one as well that was kind of wonky. I guess not. There's a jacket similar to this that we'll see later that kind of does that. Moving on, we have the Puff Data jacket. I mean, all their jackets are puffers this season, it seems like, so they're not really hitting for me. On the back, we have this kind of hollow Palace London spell out. We also have this mustard colorway, which really reminds me of some Carhartt coats, like the Detroit jacket, I think is their classic one. And then you have that corduroy collar, which I like the corduroy collar, but I'm not a fan of the puffer part of the jacket. We have the Remarker jacket, which has some interesting paneling and things done with the pockets. You know, you have this kind of arc, and then the pockets are cut off by the arc. It looks kind of strange, especially for the top pockets. But yeah, it comes in a couple different colorways. I'm not crazy about this. It's an interesting design for sure, but I don't really care for the fonts that they use or the branding, if you want to call it that. We also have the Active Bretta jacket. They've done the active stuff before, where I think they name it active anyway, where it's like heat reactive, but this doesn't appear to be a heat reactive piece, because I'm also not sure if you can do heat reactive denim, but anyways, yeah, just the Active Bretta. Looks like a denim jacket and like a Sherpa lining on the inside. They've done this hand stuff before on some t-shirts. We have the P Lumber jacket looking like plumber. It's basically a logo on it. They have on the back. Honestly, this logo on the back looks super crooked, but this one looks straighter. I'm never crazy about the basically stuff. I feel like your money can be better spent elsewhere, because Palace does have some taxing prices. We have the Chore Jacket in this love letter colorway. We will see this pattern, this love letter colorway or pattern, used across a couple more pieces, so keep that in mind. It's hard for you guys to tell what's going on right here, I'm sure, but it's just a bunch of like papers and their notes and like love letters. Obviously we have some hearts, and then I think there's even some postcards thrown in there in the mix. And then we also have it coming in this rinse wash colorway, looking like a classic like raw denim. Moving forward, we have the Chapping Arms top, which is kind of this Sherpa or like pile vest, and honestly I think in this colorway it's all right. I'm usually more of a fan of the more structured or rigid vests, kind of like the Carhartt canvas vests are pretty much some of the only vests that I can really get down with, but these ones look all right. They look kind of comfy. We have the double cross knit, which features this big plaid print diagonal across the whole piece. You got some embroidered crest on the chest, kind of hard to tell what exactly it is, but just in general I do not care for this plaid pattern at all. But yeah, I don't think there's anything special about this piece. It's just a knit. Might be some very minute detailing that I'm missing. We also have another knit. This is the Tri-Pal knit in the sand colorway. Got these like tribal graphics with some like kanji, some like imitation kanji almost, and I don't know, this looks super tacky. It looks like something you'd buy at like Kohl's in 2005 or something. I don't know. And then moving forward, we have the Bulldog Knit, which this was supposed to release the previous season, last season, I'm pretty sure. And then I guess it got pushed back. I wasn't a fan of it, so I wasn't really following this piece, but yeah, you just got this bulldog with this pot leaf, and then it says Palace. Some people like this knit. I think the pot leaf's a little unnecessary. It doesn't really fit in. I know Palace is like big in the smoking and drinking designs, but no, it's just a little out of place in that design, I think. We also have the Quilt Mitt plaid shirt, which is same thing we had with that like bomber, that like fur bomber, which is the basically a logo going on there. If you guys can't tell, this is like quilted. We have the quilting pattern on the inside. You can see it's got a line, so it's more of like a shacket. But once again, you know, it's gonna be expensive for the branding that's on it and the style of it. Like, I don't think there's anything special about this that warrants the price that Palace is going to charge for it. Unlike this next piece, the Polartec laser shirt, which I actually really like, and I think they killed it with the colorways on this. Sometimes Palace just really misses with an item because of the colorways that they choose, and I think colorways work for this one. They got some good ones. So we have this mustard colorway. I'm not sure what the yellow that they're going to call this season is, but appears to be a drop shoulder. You can see the like stitching for the shoulder a little bit down further than usual, and then you flip around on the back and you have this lasered in Palace spell out big across the back, and I think that's pretty cool. We also have it coming in this beautiful purple colorway, and then moving forward we have it in this stunning red colorway. I think we also get it, yes, in a black colorway. Next up we have the Bougie Shirt, which I spoke about when we looked at the lookbook. It has pieces or like patterns that I do like. I really like these floral patterns and wish they would have done something with just those patterns rather than kind of mangle them together into this Frankenstein of designs. But yeah, this just doesn't do it for me on its own. Next up we have the Love Letter shirt. Like I mentioned, we had that all over print on that denim jacket, and I don't know, once again, like this doesn't really do a whole lot for me. We have this negative colorway of it, just kind of like the inverted. This one actually really reminds me of a shirt Revenge did a while back. They had a bunch of writing, and it was, I think they had maybe a white colorway for it too, but I just remember the black one really. Moving forward, we have the Oxford shirt, which I really don't think needs any more explanation than that. We have the Muchas Gracias shirt, play on Muchas Gracias, and this, of course, with the glass, is a stained glass design. We have all these different stained glass like montage pictures making it up. I guess a collage would be a better descriptive word for it. And then up on the top you see it says Palace in the stained glass design. I think this is a cool idea, though maybe it's just the execution and the style of drawing chose that doesn't really do it for me. Maybe if it was a little bit more realistic rather than so like not detailed, but I don't know, cool idea, maybe poor execution in my opinion, but a lot of people like rayons, and I feel like that one might be one that hits. We have the London zip top in a pink colorway. On the back you get this Palace London spell out, which they'll do a lot this season. I feel like more so than a lot of their other seasons. I don't really care for the bottom half of this where it's striped. I don't really care for that sectioning or the width of the stripes, I guess. Moving forward, we have the Palace London Rugby top, and I don't really like the font that they use for this. Other than that, it's a fine piece. I just like can't really get down with the font, and then also how it's split so far apart. So you have Ace and then London, I guess, shown off. I think it wraps around, so it does say Palace London, but the split just looks a little strange. Moving forward, we have the Pillars jersey in the navy colorway. This is a play on like the Greek Caesar. You got that little Caesar design going on, you know what I'm saying? You got the head there, and then that common Caesar spello, Greek spello, whatever. Kind of funny that's paired with flames. And flip over on the back, and I thought this was funny too. Like, I laughed when I first saw it. They have pillars for the numbers. You get the like II would be 2 in Roman numerals, I suppose, and then the back you get classic palace spello. It's just a strange design. I guess this black colorway is all right, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever be able to get down with that. The Fancy Das Polo, it is a polo. I'm sure it comes in other colorways, but nothing noteworthy. We have the Playwright Shirt, which is kind of a flip on a soccer jersey. I believe that's kind of what they were going for. They have Matane on the front and then some kanji or characters below that. I really had no idea what the theme was for this until I saw the full set, but when you flop it over on the back, it says Mercutio, and then it's like, oh, we go forward, we have Picelli, Technicia, and then on the back you have Shakespeare, and then on this one you have Romeo. So they're all names from Romeo and Juliet. We got Mercutio, Shakespeare, the writer, and then obviously Romeo, which helps pull it all together, and is named the Playwright Shirt, which, you know, makes sense. But I think some of these are alright. This Romeo one's kind of cool. I like the Campiones. I'm not crazy about the P all over print, but I don't know. We'll see that on some other pieces. Moving forward, we have the Gore-Tex Pants, and we're really going to have just pants that match a lot of the tops that we talked about. Of course, they come in all the matching colorways. We have that in the blue camo, I think. Yeah. We have the P Carp Jean in the love letter colorway. Carp for carpenter, if you guys did not catch that. I think it translates pretty well on the jeans out of all the pieces. I think it works pretty well on there. We have the panel jean, which, you know, some panel jeans. The cord plain pant, you know, corduroy pants, Palace do pretty well. I haven't ever ordered any of their pants, but they look super baggy. The So Far jogger, which, you know, the Palace basically stuff and So Far stuff is pretty much always the same. They just swap up some of the colorways. And you guys thought we were done with the jackets? Well, think again. We have the Dominator jacket with some pull strings or draw cords on the bottom, and then the tight cuffs, and comes in a couple different camos, I believe, or maybe just that one camo, and then this kind of brown colorway and black colorway. I'm not a fan of the branding. You have the kind of like hollow Palace spello, which I don't care for. Of course, the pants that match it. Moving forward, we have the Fabrication Nation jacket, which has interesting combination of materials on this, kind of like a Polartec mixed with a nylon, but I don't really care for any of the colorways, or maybe it's just the materials that I just don't really think blend the best. We have the matching pants for it, which are a little bit better for sure. I like them a lot more than the jacket. Maybe it's because there's just less of the nylon present on it. And this next one I think is probably the worst piece from this collection. Maybe it definitely stands out to me. This looks like some American Eagle or like Aeropostale stuff, definitely. You have PAL going up on one side, Ace on the other. It's done in a very like whack approach and execution. I don't know. They could have added something more to this. And then you also have that Sherpa lining, which once again just always reminds me of kind of like some cheaper hoodies from stuff people would rock in like middle school. But moving forward, we have the Palace London hoodie, the Lawn Dawns hoodie on the hood. If you guys are wondering, this is Palace London once again. Everything you need to buy is down below. I don't know. I like the color blocking, and the like embroidery is kind of cool. The hood embroidery might have been overkill. They could have done something different there. Maybe put the everything you need to buy up there or something. I don't know. We have the Swift hood, which I've never been a fan of that like center logo. I'm not sure if it's more of like a sporty approach to one or something, but I just can't really get down with that. We have the full frontal hood, which the same exact spello was used for that duck hoodie that we saw a while back, a couple seasons ago. I think it was actually last winter that we saw it. We had that big spello, and then I think there was a duck below it carrying the letter P, I want to say is what the design was, but that time it was on the back. And of course this is on the front. Kind of an interesting spell out. I don't think it really looks bad necessarily, but this is a drop shoulder piece, and I think drop shoulder pieces are kind of cool. In some ways they're more comfortable than some other pieces. I really like this maroon on a gray marl, as Palace calls the colorway. Moving forward, we have the love letter hood, which very different than the other love letter stuff. Yes, we still have the like kisses and kind of the like cursive handwriting font that is used, and this specific design, it differs from the other love letter pieces where it doesn't have the actual like pages and pictures. But this was used last season on a trucker cap, and I think it also had like some bedazzled stuff on it. Really looked like something from Jersey Shore, and I guess they really brought it back in full force this season to do the full love letter set. But I think it comes in a couple different colorways. Yeah, we have a white one and a black one as well, whereas the caps last season I think were just pink and then black. And then this is another piece that I swear we got last season, maybe just different colorways, but you have this Palace spell out where it's outlined. Same thing on the hood, and this comes in a couple different colorways. None of them are really doing too much for me. There's a jet taking off in the background. If you guys hear something funky, that's what it is. Next on the docket, we got the P3 team hood, which, the P3 logo is no stranger to us. We've seen this before. And I don't know, I'm not crazy about the colors they used. The outlines are really what throws it off for me. The kind of like the fill color, I suppose, I think those work with the blank, the colorway, the blank color of the blank used, but the outline just kind of throws it off. Like, I don't like this gold against the maroon. I wish they would have done that differently. The Tri-Ripper hood, which I think is a cool design, interesting design, very similar to that Panther one that they had, or that Black Panther one that they had, I think last winter, or maybe like last fall or something. I don't know. It was pretty recently, but it definitely reminds me of this. Obviously this one's a little bit different. Definitely looks like it's made for Halloween. We have those kind of like ghost eyes, and then the claws ripping through, and you have the triferg there, and very interesting colorways. But I think the colorways work for this piece. This gray one looks good, and this white one, it looks good. The black one works. Navy, these ones work. Just interesting with that baby blue, but I think that's a cool piece. We have the So Far hood, which it's these So Far pieces. I don't even know why I have to click on these for you guys. We have a waffle crew neck, which I don't like that font or that logo that they use. Not a fan of that green colorway either. Moving forward, we have a piece that I like. This is the Bowl Out crew, and I wish they had a country that had a little bit more meaning to me, or like a location that had a little bit more meaning to me. We have South Africa coming in, got that big triferg on the back, got the West Indies. We also have India, and then I think New Zealand is the last one. But I think these are cool. They remind me a lot of the stuff that they do with Adidas, or that they've done with Adidas in the past, where it's kind of more sporty, and then you get the triferg and like a sporty location on the chest, and then big on the back. But yeah, I think those are cool pieces, but none of those locations really have any meaning for me, so it'd be kind of weird if I copped one. We have the single crew yellow, which I swear we saw this before. Gucci colorway is alright, but I don't know. The Alas crew, same style that we saw on that hoodie, and this is just a little too basic. Kind of looks like they're going for the kind of like the collegiate arc there, but the font I think is a little off. And I think the font's off on this one. We have that like Calvin Klein looking font here. Got a couple locations on the bottom, and this just doesn't do it for me. But I don't know, I'm not knocking you guys if you do like these pieces. The So Far crew, which we can skip. The JR long sleeve yellow, and man, I swear they've done this before. Maybe it's just different colors, but I swear we see this like every season or every other season. We have the waffle long sleeve, which just uses the stained glass, and I really think it worked better. Or I guess it's just this one colorway that uses the stained glass, but I think it definitely worked better on that button up rather than this long sleeve. Next up, we have the Palace for a Bright Future, and there's really nothing going on in this piece. You have the paneling and then a little like athletic label in that lower corner. The colorways are interesting, but I mean, I wish they had some branding on it. Almost looks like a baseball jersey or something, so maybe they could have gone that route. The classic pocket long sleeve coming in a bunch of different colorways, just a classic pocket shirt. The So Far long sleeve, So Far stuff. Palace Pour Dawn, this really doesn't do it for me. It's too basic. We have the Alas Heavyweight T-shirt, which is just the Alas long sleeve or crew neck that we just saw, but T-shirt version. We have the Palace Story, which is of course their kind of pop culture take for their Palace tee this season. We've seen them do like Mad Max, Rain Man. I forget who they did last season. I think it was Big Lebowski was last season. But this is, of course, a play on the Police Story or Police Story starring Jackie Chan. We have him right there, front and center. And then it says Palace Story instead of Police Story. Of course, you guys can see all this. I have not seen the movie, so I can't really speak on it. I did a little research. I think it came out in 1985 or somewhere around there. But as far as movie tees go, I think this one is kind of lame, but that's just my opinion. Of course, I haven't seen the movie. We have the Medieval Mandemi t-shirt, which this font looks super familiar, but I can't place my tongue on where it's from. I know I've definitely seen it before, but I can't tell what sci-fi place it's from. But I think this is interesting. I almost wish they would have used this font somewhere else. Like maybe do a cool graphic on the front and then put Palace, like this font, across the shoulders and the back or something. But yeah, or maybe on like the pocket and then have like an interesting crest, because you know it's medieval, it'd fit it well to have a crest. We also have the Falafel t-shirt, which just is falafel. You have the falafel wrap and then it says falafel. I don't know, it's all right. They've definitely done a lot better food inspired designs in the past. The next shirt we have is the Ancient Finger shirt, which just points up and has this like old English font. I think this is trash. I don't care for that at all. We have the Pal Walk shirt, which I don't like it when they use these like very, very basically done designs, which, you know, this almost looks like it'd be done in Microsoft Paint. A little bit more detail than maybe somebody could pull off with that easily anyway. The Camel T-shirt, I'm not sure where this image comes from. It might have some significance. Then you have a split where it says Palace. I'm not crazy about the split or the font that they used. We have the Piffy T-shirt, which is just like a big spliff, and then says Piffy underneath it, which I don't know, man, I'm not feeling that. The Paladizo shirt, which has a stained glass, I'm not crazy about that. The T-shirt, which has a T-shirt on the T-shirt, or I guess two T-shirts on the T-shirt. Kind of looks like one of those like mock-up ones where you'd get for when you're ordering bulk shirts, or like when you're trying to do a mock-up and like place the image for like the very early onset of the designs. But I don't like this. It's kind of like a trolling shirt. Moving forward, we have the Safety shirt, and this is like a barricade and it says safe above it. I wish they would have made this into one of the normal Triferg shirts that they do, where they just put it up on the corner and then put the big one on the back. I would have liked to seen this graphic blown up, or at least if they did this and then put it on the back, or maybe put safe front and center and then put that big on the back or something. But they just went with both on the front and center. But I think that's a cool design. I wish they would have done it a little bit differently. Of course, we have the P3 t-shirt, which comes in different colorways. I think these colorways are still kind of bad, but definitely a little bit better than the hoodies that we had for this. It kind of swaps where the gold outline is on the inside for the fill, and then the white is on the outside for the outline. I think most people looking at the season will probably reference this as their favorite piece. This is the Tri-Logger t-shirt, which is easily the best Triferg of this season, in my opinion. We have a like filled up beer pitcher fill for the Triferg, and it really works well on this black colorway. But when we look at some of the other colorways that they've used, you know, early on in the video I said Pals chooses some really bad colorways sometimes, and they really needed to keep it dark with the colorways on this, because, you know, you can see on this light colorway it just doesn't work very well. This olive green one, although it's like it doesn't match well with the design, it's still like readable. You can see what's going on. But this orange one, you know, it's hard to tell what's going on. Purple one, you can see it better. The gray one, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. Navy, you know, these darker ones are kind of what they needed to have, but like this white one, kind of hard to tell. But I think easily the black one's the best. But it's a cool Triferg, you know, just a classic pocket t-shirt. And then that brings us to the hats. We have the Harris Tweed ear flap hat. I do kind of like some of these ear flap hats, though. I mean, it's pretty basic. I guess I don't have anything against it. I don't really care for this one, how they have the logo on it. I much more prefer that Tweed one, how they went about that. We have the Grand Beanie in brown, which looks like a knit beanie, which is kind of interesting, though other than it being a knit, I don't really have much interest in it. We have the Stronger Pal Hat Fluoro. I guess this is the Fluoro colorway, maybe. I don't care for this very much. No. Next up, we have the Plaid Pal Hat, which I guess, sure, whatever. I don't really care for the basically logo though. The Cord Pal Hat, which I think is cool, though they've done better corduroy hats in the past, in my opinion. They've done, I'm not sure if this one appears to be a flat brim, maybe it is curved, but they've done some curved ones in the past that I do prefer a lot more. I know we got like red, yeah, so we got this on like a curved brim before, and I definitely like that use, or that silhouette. We have the striped Rib Beanie. I don't care for that. We have the pocket beanie, which is kind of cool that it has a pocket on it. I'm not crazy about what they got going on. This like chain looking pattern, and then the little like pull tab on the top is goofy, but the pocket, I'll give it that the pocket is kind of cool. I cannot get down with this like tribal graphic that they've been using. And the beanies keep going. This is the winter season, so we have the Palace London beanie, which is all right, maybe a little overkill on the spellouts. You have Palace and then London also on this. We have the Palace Jeans beanie, which says Palace Jeans, Palace Jeans, Palace Jeans, and I don't like how these beanies fit. Maybe if you got a super small head, but I think they just look goofy without the kind of like rolled up part. Too fitted, I guess. We have the Mellow One Beanie, which is kind of like basically a beanie, but the pattern on it's weird. It's like gridded, almost like a waffle thermal. We have the Tribe Ripper pendant, which makes use of that kind of like Halloween tri-ferg that we saw before. Moving into the accessories, or I guess that was an accessory as well. We have the Palace Peas umbrella, which I think this is a fun design, the all over peas print, but I don't know. I like the design. I do like it. I respect it, but I've never liked peas. I mean, tuna salad, they're all right, but you tried like warm-up peas, it's just like mush. Maybe if it was like green beans or like soybeans or something, I could get behind it, but the peas, I'm not feeling it. We also have this Palace pint glass, which I think Palace has done like pint glasses before, I want to say. We also have the Palace peas mug, which again, I think this is fun. I think it's cool, but I've never liked peas. We also have the Palace beer mat, which I'm pretty sure is just one of those little mats that go in front of like beers. It'll usually be, or like the pull tabs. I'm blanking on what it's called, but they'll have like the drip tray and then the mat that goes in front of that. I think that's what it's used for. We have the pea tray, which appears to be glass or like some type of ceramic, not plastic. But yeah, I think these are cool. They've been doing a lot of kind of like tray type items like this. We have the Palace T-shirt key ring, which I think works better than the T-shirt, and it's actually a USB, which is interesting. I wonder how much storage is on it. We also have the Palace mini boxing gloves, which I think are also just kind of like a keychain type thing. You have 3 different countries. We have Great Britain, Germany, and blanking on what this is, Jamaica maybe? I don't know. We got the sticker pack, which of course just features everything. I really do like that tri-logger, tri-ferg. And then we have the boards, which I don't know. I don't think Palace is too well known for their skateboards. I feel like they don't ever have crazy ones, but they're always pretty decent. I don't think anybody ever like really obsesses over them. This one was kind of cool. We got going on the falafel. I do like that spell out. Kind of big like that. But yeah, we have some weed inspired ones, the banana ones, which I'm not really digging, and then that is a wrap for the season. Anyway, that's it for the season, and I don't like it. As you guys can tell by the number of pieces I said I like, which is probably just a handful, there's just not a lot that's really for me this season. And apart from that, like just pieces that I enjoy and respect, there's just not that many either. And I usually make the Palace like top 10 items of the season, and I would really struggle to grab 10 items from this list that I really like, so I'll probably end up skipping that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the season. Are you guys hyped for it? I've seen some people hyping it up, so I don't know, maybe there are pieces in here that people do like, but personally I'm just not feeling it. Usually the graphic tees are kind of where Palace kills it for me, and I feel like they're lacking this season. So let me know what you guys think, and as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.